All right, guys, I'm here. Just wanted to do a quick recap of the bracket now that everything's over. Just kind of talk about some comments that we saw, questions that we got asked, things of that nature. So before we do that, obviously want to shout out a big congratulations to our winner, Trogs. I've got a nice Java Head Stout here that we'll be celebrating with. So congratulations again to Trogs. And to open it up, we've got some swag here from the Bucks County Ale Trail. So let's just pop this open. Cheers, Trogs. All right, so like I said, wanted to just kind of sit back. Here's the championship again. Obviously, want to show you guys that because that's what this is all about, right? But I really just wanted to talk about some of the questions that we had, comments, kind of the whole nine. I've written a quick list here. So first off, thank you to City Brew Tours for sponsoring this. Definitely check them out. Like I said before in the last video, they offer tours in both Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So whether you're on each end of the state, they'll get you guided into different tours, individual tours over the many breweries and what have you. So big shout out to them. Check them out, City Brew Tours, across all social media platforms. Now on to the questions, comments, what have you. First up, in regards to regions. So a lot of people would ask, all right, well, why is this brewery in that region if they're technically located here? At the end of the day, it was the best 64 in order. You can't do that and make one region weighted versus another. Now, I will tell you, in the future, we may change the regions to names because what's confusing people is they might see, you know, a brewery in Bethlehem who's in the southeast. So we may change the names themselves, but just understand, in order to make this fair for everyone, you have to do, 64 divided by 4, and then not mess with the seating either. So that was the thought process behind the regions. A lot of people saying, not a lot of people, few people saying, this is rigged. If we could control the software technology, the bracket technology, it would make our lives so much better. Bracket Ninja isn't that bad. They're probably the best out there as far as technology goes, but it definitely has their problems. We don't control anything. All we can do is ask you to vote, and then we get the totals. If you think it's rigged, you give us way too much credit for our technology background. Why a brewery might not advance that you really like. So there's a brewery out there that will remain nameless that when they don't advance, we hear a lot from their fans. Online polls are no different than, let's say online campaigning, right? If a brewery's not sharing it, their fans aren't going to be aware that it's happening. We've got a very large fan base, but at the end of the day, we can only share it to so many people. So what ends up happening is if a brewery shares it, then that's how their votes are going to add up. There is a brewery out there that's very popular. They just don't care that this thing exists. That's what it comes down to. I think everyone knows who I'm talking about. And if you're a big fan of their brewery and you're upset they're not winning, I mean, they're going to lose every year, unfortunately, because quite frankly, they don't care about this, and nor should they. They've got their business to operate in. This is just kind of fun that we're doing. We're not here to push one brewery over the other or whatever it may be. We're just here to give you guys some fun, especially now with all this quarantine crap happening. If it allows you to be distracted for even a second in your day, we feel like we accomplished our goals. So certain breweries aren't going to advance because, let's face it, certain breweries just don't care. The reason Trogs got the most votes ever in one round is because they shared the crap out of it. The reason Levante got so far is because they shared it and they have a passionate fan base. Dancing Gnome shared it. They got to the final four. A lot of these breweries shared it, and that's why we get breweries that advance the way they do. What data was used? So this is always a good one, right? Because quite frankly, we are not pushing Untappd. We believe that beer should be drank without technology, which I guess is counterproductive to what we do, but you know what I mean. We don't necessarily think you need to determine what a rating is on a beer to enjoy it or to check it out, but we do use Untappd data. Why do we use Untappd data? So let's face it, that's the one universal system out there that we can all agree on as far as when it comes to force ranking beers. If anyone can suggest another way of doing this that isn't, well, here's my top 64 individually, we're all ears. I challenge you to do that because of 3 years running, no one's ever given us a good enough alternative. It's always been, well, I don't understand the data you use. We ask them for a solution, and usually the response is, well, I don't have one, I just don't like the data you use. So what do we do? So nonetheless, we use Untappd data. It comes down to a brewery needing at least 10,000 check-ins, because the way we look at it is a lot of breweries, come flying out the gate. They get a really good high score, but they've only really produced 3 or 4 beers into the market, right? That's not really that good of a snapshot. We feel that 10,000 number allows for a total snapshot of kind of what they're doing. It's probably a brewery that's been in existence for quite some time. So that's why we use that data. Lastly, just to talk about the benefits of this bracket. So obviously up until this point, I've talked a lot about kind of the downtrodden stuff, but I want to talk about the benefits. The biggest benefit that we see is folks commenting that they don't understand why a brewery advanced that far, and they need to go drive to that brewery and check it out to find out for themselves. That's what this is all about at the end of the day. If you see a brewery advancing and you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me, don't come to us and complain about it. Get in your car, drive, check them out, meet the bartenders, meet the brewers, figure out why people are excited about it. All this bracket has to do with is the fact that we're trying to advance the industry far enough and get more people talking about breweries in Pennsylvania. Not our company breweries in Pennsylvania, physically breweries in Pennsylvania. So that's what this is all about. So if you see a brewery that you're just not sure why that brewery is advancing as far as they are, I challenge you to check them out. It's as simple as that. And then lastly, 250,000 people viewed this bracket at the end of the day. That's a lot of freaking people, right? This is all about engagement. We would love to get out to every brewery possible. We would love to get out to every beer share possible. We want to get out there, right? It's just physically impossible for us. So by doing this, we're able to bring a very large group together and just kind of make this an exciting time, again, especially during the times that we're going through right now. So that's everything as far as the list has to go. I really appreciate everyone that participated, engaged, the whole nine. Again, check out City Brew Tours, our sponsor. They did a great job at that. The wheels are already in motion to get this over to Trogues and get a party going. Hopefully they'll be up for that. Haven't heard back from them yet on that. If they are, we will put together a party at their brewery. Like I said, they'll receive this for a year and we'll have a great time with it. So thank you to everyone that participated, was involved with this. It was a lot of fun, and this beer's for you.